Black walnuts must be one of the hardest nuts to crack that there is. Most people use some kind of a mechanical nutcracker and just crush this thing into smithereens and go through there and pick up all the rest of the meat. It's usually the wisest choice for cracking these things. They don't come apart easily. But if you want big, huge quarters and pieces like this, I figured out there is a way to do this. Okay, it takes a little bit more work than the nutcracker, but wow, I mean, look at these things. They're absolutely gorgeous. Big, huge pieces. Let me just show you real quick how to do it. All of your walnuts kind of have an oblong shape to them, okay? And there's always going to be a crack on one side of it right there, always naturally in it. The other side's not going to have that crack, okay? So you have to figure out which side that is. I literally take these things and I split them. I have a big socket that I have here. I put them in here and I'm going to split them in two pieces with a chisel, okay? And I'll find that crack. If I don't hit that crack in the right spot, it's not going to split open. And if you're in it, just a couple little taps to get it on it. One good pop or two, and it'll split right in two for you. No problem, okay? There it is. Sometimes that heart will stay on one side or the other. Not a big deal. So let me just do 3 or 4 of these for you real quick to show you. Doesn't take long. Just split them open. Sometimes you have to hit them a little harder than other times. There it goes. Definitely have to make sure you hit on the right side where that split is. If you don't, it's not going to break. Okay, one more, just to give you the idea. You can go through these pretty fast, split them in two. Now, the hardest part about this is getting the meat out. And what I'm using is diagonal cutters. There's a set of wire cutters that I'm using. And what I figured out is here's where we split that from this side. Okay, put the chisel in on this side is where that split was. Start cutting on this end. A lot of times I'll just split right in two. This whole thing will fissure, and I'll get big chunks out just like that. And I definitely notice is we want to cut in the direction of all these grooves in the walnut. We start trying to cut sideways, it's just going to break that meat inside, and all your work is not going to be worth it. So you just try to chop this apart a little bit on each end down here, and big chunks start coming off. And there's a big chunk just came out of the side of that one there, and voila, look at that. There you go. There's our first huge piece. I'm going to try to get to the other side. Might not be as easy. Okay. We just have to try to chip away to free it loose. And I don't know what it is about some of these nuts. I don't care what you do, you're not going to get it loose in one piece. It's just not happening. Okay, so get real careful about cutting to the side like that. Cutting on this other end is much harder, it's much thicker. So you can do it. Takes a lot more grip with your hand to squeeze and break it. And then there we are. There's a whole nother big beautiful piece that came out. Okay, in the cup. And I'm going to start on the other half of that one. Same thing. A lot of times you can really pop one open and get that first piece out almost completely. You see, still stuck in there a little bit. So, and you have these little hollow spots right here. Definitely try to chip in through those. Okay, that'll make things break on a good place. Okay, and don't forget, there's always going to be these little pieces of your hearts that get left behind. Okay, I have a separate cup that I'll put the pieces in for the ones that break and the pieces of hearts that come out. Sometimes those hearts come out all in one piece. There we go. I got another big chunk. it ends up being a pretty good ratio for this. On my first batch that I did, I think I got at least 2.5 pounds of really good solid pieces, almost whole pieces like this, and about 1/2 pound of broken pieces that were still pretty big, okay, because I'm doing the same thing the whole time. So here, this one's still kind of stuck in there. I have to do a little more chewing away to try to get it loose. And there it is, almost. There we go. See, there ends up being like 2 bulges on each end, and all of that structure around the walnut is wrapped around that. So you chop it the right way. Just take a little practice, but chop it the right way with those pliers. It's not that impossible to get out really large pieces at one time. There we go. And you can see we have to do a little bit. Get close to this end, I think this is ready to come out, and you can still break it in half, that nut. And there we go. See, tons of big, beautiful pieces. I can just see, I don't know, I think I'm gonna attempt like a cinnamon roast, something like that, toast a few of them. I've already made 3 loaves of banana nut bread out of these walnuts. It's just absolutely glorious with the Southern Living recipe. So here you can see how it's done. It's a little time consuming, but boy, you can get absolutely big, beautiful pieces of walnuts out if you try it with your, split them in half with a chisel and cut them apart with a pair of wire cutters. This is what you can achieve. Appreciate it, everybody. See you next time.